Deals. And Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. What a special moment for Barry Bonds.
Imagine this, it's August 6, 2008, you are a broke college student in a dorm room with all of your buddies, and you guys have the bright idea to go to AT&T Park the next day to watch Barry Bonds hit his 756 home run. And again, stay with me, not only that, once you get to the game, you sit in the most perfect spot in Major League Baseball history, and you position yourself right in front of Barry Bonds' 756 home run, and you snag it. You instantly just became $752,000 richer. And if we calculate that in burrito prices, that's a lot of burritos. What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another video. I want to say thank you so much for all the recent support on all of my videos. You guys kill it every single time. We are almost at 36,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, let's see if we can get to 36. We're so close to 40. And at 40,000, I might give away a copy of MLB The Show 18. So if you're not subscribed, let's go ahead and do it. And let's get into the video. Today, what we're going to be talking about is the most expensive baseball memorabilia ever sold. We already talked about Barry Bonds' 756 home runs, so we won't talk about that one. But can you imagine that? I mean, again, put yourself in that guy's shoes. He's a broke college student who decides to catch the ball game with his buddies, and he stands in the most perfect spot in human history. I feel like that is the luckiest thing a person can do, is catch a baseball that is worth $750,000. So if he is now the luckiest fan in Major League Baseball history, whose spot did he overtake? Coming in at the 10th spot, we have Hank Aaron's 755th home run ball, which was valued at $650,000. Aaron still holds several world records, such as the most All-Star Game selections at 75. What? I don't think that's right. 75? I don't think he went to 75 All-Star games, so that's a little weird, but this ball was used for his last home run, number 755 in 1976. 20 years later, the ball was sold for a sum of $650,000. Again, your college debt is paid for. Medical school, you got it. At number 9, we have Babe Ruth's 1933 jersey, so I want you guys to get used to this man back here, Mr. Babe Ruth, because anything that this man touched turned into gold. If he was alive right now and you had a spare toothbrush, you would say, please, Mr. Ruth, can you just brush your teeth with this toothbrush, and you would instantly pretty much become a millionaire. Everything this guy did, everyone wanted. It says that Babe Ruth is quite possibly the greatest player of all time, blah, blah, blah. In 1933, it was the most iconic year, hitting 34 home runs. So I don't think that was his most iconic year, because he did hit more home runs after that, but maybe 34 back in the day was just unreal. But I guess that's why it was valued at $657,000. What? Again, we have another Babe Ruth clothing item apparel thingy. So in 1934, he went on a world tour, and his uniform was valued at $771,000. And it says that usually when collectors are looking to purchase an item of athletes' clothing, they like to go for something that is a little more well-worn and tied to a significant event. But in this case, this uniform hadn't been worn that often, which fortunately meant that its condition was quite mint. In 2005, it was sold by Mastro Auctions for $771,000. So the reason why is because Babe Ruth didn't wear this uniform too often. I don't think he played in it. He might have. I'm not sure. It doesn't say it in an article. But because he didn't wear it as often, it was such in mint condition that the price skyrocketed. So if you had this uniform, you almost became a millionaire. Another piece of history in regards to Babe Ruth, we have a $805,000 baseball that was signed by Babe Ruth for the 1933 All-Star Game. So in 1933, Babe Ruth hit 2 home runs in front of a crowd of almost 50,000 people at Comiskey Park. At this point, Babe Ruth had earned a celebrity status, so that the ball was instantly a valuable collectible. Again, everything that this guy did instantly turned to $1 bajillion. I don't understand it. What's not to understand? This guy's the Sultan of SWAT, the Colossus of Clout, one of the best baseball players of all time, probably the most famous baseball player of all time, because yes, it was a different era. Yes, the pitchers were not throwing as hard as today's players, but Babe Ruth, he's an iconic legend. Give him his respect. So we're gonna kind of speed run through the rest of them. So at number 6, Babe Ruth's 1932 jersey, which is valued at a whopping $940,000. So we're getting close to the million spot. Is there a million? Nope, not yet, not yet. So at number 5, we have Babe Ruth's 1919 Yankees contract valued at $996,000. So we are $4,000 away from being at the million spot. So we're starting to see a lot of Babe Ruth on this list. Duh. Why does he go for so much? When the Yankees traded with the Red Sox for Ruth in 1919 for $100,000, it was a turning point in not only Ruth's career, but in the history of baseball. The following year, Ruth hit 54 home runs in his first season with the Yankees. So 4 years after the Yankees purchased the contract of Babe Ruth from the Red Sox, he hit his first Yankee Stadium home run, and that bat that he hit it with is valued at $1.3 million. If that doesn't make you feel bad about yourself, I don't know what does. I mean, this guy hit a home run, and the bat that he used is worth over $1 million. The bat that I used in Little League, I think I sold it at a garage sale for $7. But then again, I'm not Babe Ruth, so I can't really compare myself. I'm not comparing myself, but yeah, $7 for a stealth. That was a bargain for whoever got that. So coming in at the number 3 spot, we have our first non-Babe Ruth memorabilia item in quite some time. We're talking about the Honus Wagner 1909 baseball card, which is valued at $2.8 million. And I'll tell you why it was valued so much. Wagner refused to allow this American tobacco company to feature him in an attempt to stop children buying cigarettes. This crisp condition, 107-year-old baseball card, thus sold for $2.8 million in 2007. So it's been sold a number of times after that. I think someone just sold it for $3.3 million to Wayne Gretzky or something like that. I'm not sure of the exact number, but it was sold for about $3 million. But the fact that Honus Wagner was smart enough back in the day to say, I don't want my face on a tobacco company card because I don't want kids smoking cigarettes. That's a guy right there. Honus Wagner was known for just being a great player, but he was also a great person as well. So this card is worth almost $3 million, over $3 million at this point, because he said, no, I'm not going to be the face that is plastered on a marketing scheme that gets kids to try and smoke cigarettes. No, thank you. So Honus Wagner, for that, you have my respect. So let's go to number 2. We have Mark McGwire's. Number 2 is Mark McGwire, his 70th home run, I guess it goes for $3 million. So again, this might be the luckiest fan actually in history. I know we talked about Hank Aaron's home run, I know we talked about Barry Bonds, but I had no idea this ball was on the list because this is the first time that I'm looking at it. But Mark McGwire's 70th home run, which I think beat Roger Maris, is that what it was? Mark McGwire is famous for his record-breaking abilities, also his steroid record-breaking abilities. He set the record for the most single-season home runs in history at that time at a whopping 70. He also set the record for the highest bats per home run ratio in history, a home run once every 10 at-bats. That's pretty solid. So he did beat out Roger Maris, and then a couple years later, Barry Bonds actually beat that with 72 home runs, and I'm not sure why that ball isn't on this list. Maybe because the whole steroids thing tainted that, but Mark McGwire's 70th home run valued at $3 million. Again, that's a lot of burritos. And then, of course, at the number 1 spot, we have the king of baseball, a 1920 Babe Ruth jersey that was sold in 2012 for a hefty $4.4 million. Are you serious? Babe Ruth wore a lot of jerseys throughout his baseball career, but the reason for this one being so special is the fact that it is the oldest known New York Yankees jersey that Babe Ruth had worn. His first jersey in 1920, and now nearly a century later, both Ruth and the jersey's legacies live on. Yeah, this guy was the Michael Jordan of baseball. As you can see, it is 2018, and he's still present. You know you had to be iconic and unique and special. He was the unicorn of Major League Baseball. You don't hit 56 home runs in one season. You just didn't do that back then. The fields were so much larger. That's why Polo Grounds was something that of course it was amazing, but they demolished because no one was hitting home runs. That's why Yankee Stadium was the house that Ruth built. He had so many home runs, they had to try and structure a stadium around him, and that's why he ended up with 714 home runs. Babe Ruth was just the man. Everyone loves Babe Ruth. People call him overrated. I don't think that's the case. I think he was really good. He was the most important person in baseball history, and that's why his first Yankees jersey was going for $4.4 million. So, I mean, this is one of those things that it's so much money. I can't imagine paying almost $5 million for a shirt, okay? We wear baseball jerseys every single day. We've probably seen about 100,000 jerseys since that point, and not one has been worth over $1 million. In my opinion, maybe a Jackie Robinson jersey was sold for $1 million. I'm not sure. It wasn't on the list, but Babe Ruth, anything that he touched, again, was worth almost $1 million, over $1 million. So guys, one more thing I have to add is, and I urge you guys, if you have an old grandma or an old granny that lives down the street and she needs her attic cleaned, please, for the love of God, go clean the attic, because you never know what you might find. I think the Honus Wagner card was found in the attic of a grandma. So again, if you are just trying to find some summer money, please clean any attic that you can find, because you might find a 1920 Babe Ruth jersey and be $5 million richer, okay? No more cutting lawns, no more doing the dishes because your mom said. Just sell a jersey for $5 million. That's all you gotta do. I'm just kidding. I wish that was something that we can do, because that would be nice to be a $5 millionaire. Yeah, what would I do with $5 million? Again, I think in terms of burritos, so $5 million divided by $9, was that for one burrito? Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So guys, if you did enjoy and you want to see more videos like this, please go ahead and slap a like on this one. Again, we are getting so close to 40,000 subscribers and a giveaway. So if you guys want to get there, let's go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.